Welcome everybody. For you today, we have a Company of Heroes 3v3. Playing for the Allies side, we have Delcore playing as Soviet, Baker playing as the Americans, and Moony playing as the Soviets as well. On the Axis side, we have Miles playing as the Wehrmacht, another Wehrmacht player in the form of Naglefar, and Brandon playing as the sole Oberkommando West player. Little unit gets stuck over there, as per usual. This is kind of a typical bug. I hope that they fix that one day. So this particular map, the side of the Axis are actually very strong if you garrison a machine gun in these two buildings here. However, Oberkommando West does not usually have access to machine guns like that unless they go for Luftwaffe ground forces, and of course they need 1 point. American player here going right for the fuel. Soviet player moving to take the connecting point for his fellow player here. So as of right now, it doesn't look like any particular faction is really dominant on the battlefield, but of course this is just the beginning of the game. Oberkommando West Storm Pioneers garrison this building here. Not a very effective choice because these guys are good in close range, and you know, nobody's going to get near them in order to do that, so kind of a waste there. I'd probably put the Volksgrenadiers inside instead.
Especially considering right now the most important thing is to capture points.
Exactly. So, interesting idea here from the Soviet player. On the leftmost victory point, he's building a little bit of cover while he's capturing. That's pretty smart because it allows him to have a defensive position up in case his opponents try to take that point away from him. One other little, I suppose, interesting combo that allies can use is the Americans can't build any cover, but the Soviets can. So a Soviet player to help out an American can actually build some cover on his side. So first engagement here on the right side, looks like the Axis has secured the fuel on the right side, but the Allies are trying to secure the victory point here. I don't think they have what they need to hold the victory point here.
Especially since there's reinforcements coming. 2 squads even.
Yeah, I mean, a building is good cover, but, you know, it's not going to be enough against all these guys here. Looks like the Soviet player on the right side went for a machine gun and a mortar, so that could be pretty effective here.
Brandon... Well, it was looking like Brandon was moving his support truck, but then he just stopped, so I don't know what's going on there.
Well, the support truck probably is waiting for his allies to secure this area for the support truck so it can be deployed. On the left side, the allies are actually pretty dominant here, so on the right side, looks like it's Axis favored. On the left side, so far, it is Allied favored, so it could be a tale of two sides here. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Machine gun engaging units in the building. Units in buildings, by the way, can't be suppressed as far as I understand, so they should be pretty safe. They're gonna still take damage from the machine gun, but they're not gonna take any suppression. However, that mortar is very effective against units in buildings, so it will destroy most of those guys there if they don't move.
And they lost an MG. On the left hand side. Miles.
Yeah, on the left hand side, Miles is putting another machine gun in the building there, so it looks like it's going to be machine gun versus machine gun here for a lot of the battle.
Yeah, but
the American player is flanking all of Miles' machine guns.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
See, the interesting thing here on this map that I've just now come to realize is that there is one Allied player on the right side and 2 Axis players on the right side and 1 Axis player on the left side, and you get the idea.
Yep.
It's kind of doubled down here because this particular map splits up the factions. But it looks like Delcore is doing a pretty good job of attritioning the hell out of these Axis troops, even though the Axis hold the majority of these points here. It's going to make it a lot harder for them to hold the points in the future. Also, I don't necessarily think this was a good place for Brandon to put his mechanized regiment HQ.
Why not?
Because it's very exposed and he doesn't need to put it up front. It would have been better to put it behind the building. I honestly think a lot of these buildings you don't necessarily always want at the front, and the little mortar picks off the Volksgrenadier. Here. Yeah, the Wehrmacht player in the middle here, a little less experienced than the other guys here, isn't really doing too much with his resources at the moment, but that allows him to potentially assist his allies in a very major way later on. Panzer Fusilier, Sturm Officer, and a Volksgrenadier for Brandon. One of the things I really like about the particular doctrine he went for here, the Breakthrough Doctrine, is he can call in a squad of fairly effective units for a pretty decent cost, and it's sent on the battlefield right away. He doesn't need to wait for the unit to be trained. So that allows him to recoup any major losses pretty much instantly. And it looks like the Allies are pushing up on the left side to try and deprive them of all the resources they have here.
And they were trying to go for the right-hand side victory point, but they immediately lost it again. Yeah.
Looks like the Axis are taking the middle victory point here that's not contested. Also, they're taking this this middle neutral point as well. Little light engagements in the middle there, nothing too gigantic yet. One thing I will note about Brandon's choice for going Mechanized Regiment Headquarters, he gets more fuel because he uses the fuel transfer. However, he doesn't have access to healing and reinforcing from the truck. Only the Battle Group HQ allows you to do that.
Hey, wake up.
And that, of course, is something very important to keep in mind. Close range engagement here going on. These Grenadiers have been flanked in a very major way, and these Allies are going to come bearing down on these guys. Nice little
and there's a demolition charge on the right-hand side. Looks like, you know, who's playing blue. Delcore again.
A very good area here to put the demolition charge, because more often than not, people won't hop the little fence here. They'd rather just go the direct path because it's a little bit faster. And most people would not assume that there is some kind of mine or bomb or whatever here. I probably would move his mortar a little bit to the right there, because if that demo charge goes off, his mortar is probably going to take a lot of damage.
Well, it doesn't look burned right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that, but however, Delcore doesn't necessarily know that he's not going to be attacked any second.
Oh, someone just lost a Volksgrenadier squad in the middle.
Yep, a lot of soldiers going out for the Axis here. They're pretty much swarming everything but the right side. It looks like the right side is the only bastion that the Axis players really have, the only bastion of hope.
Well, I
More
think
Panzer Fusiliers.
Naglefar has been saving a lot right now. So
he has been saving a lot, but he hasn't been building a lot, and he hasn't been able to contest this middle victory point here, which he really needs. Miles also does not have what he needs to contest the left-hand side, because he is facing two players after all. A lot of resistance in the middle here. Naglefar is not going to be able to take this area here. He needs to pull his units back. And he looks like he's going to lose the squad, and he does.
We have casualties. Mortar ready for orders.
Yeah, Delcore does actually what I kind of recommended here, without knowing, obviously. He moves his mortar a little bit to the right because he's afraid that that particular demo charge is going to do a lot of damage to his own unit. Actually, Brandon here has a very, very strong blob of units. Some Panzer Fusiliers, Volksgrenadiers, and a Sturm Officer.
looks like Moony put up some sandbags on the left-hand side. Nice. Done.
But it looks as if Miles has managed to successfully push back a little bit here. Not all the way to the fuel and victory point, but this is definitely better than, you know, being stuck in your base.
Where's that?
Walking Stuka from Brandon here does a lot of damage to that mortar, kills it, and destroys the machine gun in the building. Brandon, now clear, is able to move up his big blob of units to try and attack. However, it looks like Delcore's moving in some reinforcements, and if he goes on that particular demo charge there, his entire blob is going to get killed.
Is that demo charge still active?
Let's see. The demo charge is still active. It didn't get hit by the explosive, just barely. He's going to move his blob on top of it. Let's see what happens.
Oh my god,
This is going to be huge. All of his units die. Every single one. Except for 3, actually. 3 units do not die. That was absolutely ridiculous.
And he's recrewing the mortar. Nice.
He did lose the machine gun, but obviously Brandon here did not expect that demo charge, even though, you know, Delcore is pretty much known for this particular strategy.
Wow.
Still, on the left side, Miles is actually fighting very vigorously here to try and take back his side, or at least deny his allies the ability to just sit on their asses here.
But he's right. He's absolutely right with going with a flamethrower. That's the way to go.
Unfortunately for him, his flamethrower is being focused down very heavily here, so he's not going to be able to do too much. And the machine guns that are currently suppressing all his units here are being smoked out, so they can't really fire on anything. This AT gun here, an unusual choice to fight buildings, but actually a pretty smart one because they have good range and because they have good accuracy against buildings. And meanwhile, on the right side, Delcore, in combination with Moony's forces here, managed to overtake the entirety of the right side because they did such a crippling blow to Brandon's armies. Grenade coming in here doing some more damage. More grenades. A walking Stuka barrage is about to go off here. Let's see where it lands.
Well, probably right where the victory. Yeah.
Farther up. Oh. 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills. 4 kills from that one barrage. Not necessarily bad, I'd say, but not what he needs in order to win here. Paratroopers coming in on the right side, a lot of grenades on Miles' buildings. The defensive posture that Miles has taken up has afforded him the ability to... Yep.
Whole squad dying on the right hand side. How's Miles doing? He's bringing up another heavy MG.
Yeah, Brandon's mechanized regiment headquarters is about to go down here. And it is about to get killed here. He's upgraded some of his Panzer Fusiliers with G43 is a very strong upgrade, but that's probably not what he needs to win here. He takes out the mechanized regiment headquarters, so that is lost for the Axis player there.
I think Miles is doing the right thing. He's playing against 2 players, so he brought out 3 mortars to just focus him down and buy his teammates a little bit more time.
Is it frozen? Oh, never mind.
It is,
like
yeah.
It was frozen there for a second.
Still is on my side. Oh, now it's continuing.
Oh, those Panzer Fusiliers are actually a very strong blob of units, as I said before. They don't have a Sturm Officer this time around, which is a little bit disappointing to see. Oh, and that shock troop actually throws a grenade into his own building by accident there. And that machine gun is gonna get killed. But it looks like he manages to pull it back, so that's a good move here. He realizes that those Panzer Fusiliers put out too much damage for that machine gun to actually do anything. Miles gets routed on the left side here, but on the right side, these Panzer Fusiliers are pushing up very hard, but probably not enough damage output from them to deal with all.
No, Miles didn't get pushed back. He left on his own accord. He wasn't under fire. He just retreated them to reinforce them.
Yeah, looks like Miles is building more tech buildings here, but he's going pretty much entirely for machine guns and mortars. Machine guns to hold land, mortars to hopefully